there's a couple. Oh, they're so pretty. Got little crests. Huh? Birdie. Are you the birdie? Hey, birdie. Yeah, he's the one that landed on me that time. Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books. I'm here today to try to get caught up just a little more on my reviewing of books that I've read in 2022. I got a little behind with the move to China. So yeah, I want to get caught up on the Book Naturalist book club today. So this is a book club that I started with Heidi from My Reading Life, and we are in our third year and still absolutely loving the project. So it is a book club that focuses on nature writing, but we also try to include as many diverse authors as we possibly can. So this year we're focusing on including authors from around the world and still trying to maintain about 50% women writers. And then next year we will go back to 100% women writers, but still try to include 50% world diversity. So let me just show you what that looks like. I have the last 6 months of 2022 here, which was 100% women. And then the first 3 of 2023. So July of 2022, we read Thin Places, A Natural History of Healing and Home by Carrie Doherty. This was fabulous, just really rich literary writing. And it focuses on Ireland during the Troubles and this woman's trauma through that and how nature anchored her to life and healing during that time. And this one is actually on the BookTube prize list for this year. So that's interesting that a Book Naturalist book made it. And then for August, we read Mary Oliver's Upstream. This is a collection of essays, again, extremely literary and just oh so gorgeous. Mary Oliver is a renowned poet. So obviously her prose is going to be very poetic as well. I really enjoyed this. And I picked up a couple poetry collections this year to try them out. And those are a bit hit or miss for me. Some of them are just stunning, but I think some of them, like topically, they don't connect with me. So I don't know. I think poems are kind of like short stories where people talk about the whole book doesn't work, but some of them really hit home. But her essays definitely worked for me. And then September, we read Two Trees Make a Forest in Search of My Family's Past Among Taiwan's Mountains and Coasts. So this is a woman of Taiwanese heritage, and this is somewhat of a memoir, but it also infuses a lot of nature writing and history. So her grandparents were actually from China and immigrated to Taiwan, and then her parents, they immigrated to Canada, so she's grown up in Canada, but she has gone back to Taiwan as an adult to kind of journey through the land and try to come to terms with her heritage. So really beautiful book, really super interesting. So this was great for me to read, to learn more of the history about Taiwan, because I really didn't know. And living in China, super interesting connection there. And then the diversity of the landscape and the flora and fauna in Taiwan is just wow. So super excited to be able to visit Taiwan, hopefully next year myself. So that was great for me to connect with. And then October, we read Jane Goodall's In the Shadow of Man, and I absolutely loved this. So Jane Goodall, as a very young woman, untrained, volunteers to go live with the chimps and study them. And through trial and error, she makes just amazing discoveries about their lives and social order, and, you know, works and gets her PhD, and it is like an iconic figure today. And the way she writes, just so simply but vividly about these chimps, you just get so involved in their lives. And this book, as soon as I finished it, I put the sequel on my TBR because I just wanted to read it right away. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I definitely will. This was so interesting and just also quite charming. And then in November, we read Gathering Moss by Robin Wall Kimmerer. This is the woman who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, that has been just like ever so popular on BookTube for the last 3 or 4 years. This is a natural and cultural history of mosses, and it is just as good as Braiding Sweetgrass. So if you've read Braiding Sweetgrass, definitely pick this up. Same style. She gives you all of the information about mosses you never knew that you didn't know, and presents it in such an interesting manner, and also weaves in a bit of memoir of her own life and raising her 2 daughters, and some cultural heritage with her Native American background, and it's just fabulous. So, you know, if you haven't read Braiding Sweetgrass yet and you're a bit intimidated by the size, maybe pick this one up because it's smaller, but so good. She's amazing, an amazing, amazing author. And then December, we rounded out the year with The Hour of Land, a personal topography of America's national parks by Terry Tempest Williams. So this book, the author visits 12, I believe, different national parks in the U.S. And again, a bit of memoir writing along with the parks. And this one actually did not hit me as well as the rest of the books on the list. And I think that was mainly because this one gets very political, which normally I like. I don't know if it was just that I didn't expect it, but just it didn't quite work for me. It was fine. And the first few essays were good, but overall, 3-star. Okay, and then this year we are reading, we read A Year in the Maine Woods by Bernd Heinrich in January, and I love this one as well. So this, he has it divided into 4 sections, so spring, summer, winter, and fall. And he kind of, like Thoreau, goes and lives in a house off the grid, out in the woods, in the Maine woods specifically. and just writes about the changing landscape and his observations about life. So Bernd Heinrich is a biologist, an ornithologist, and he studies ravens. So there's quite a bit about ravens in this one. And it was so interesting that I actually looked up his book specifically about ravens to add to my TBR as well. And he's a long distance runner, not just marathons, but the mega marathons, like the 50 miles and stuff. So he has a couple books out on running that I think I want to read one of those as well. So really enjoyed his writing. And then this month, I haven't started this one yet, but it's a bigger picture by Vanessa Nakate, My Fight to Bring a New African Voice to the Climate Crisis. So this is a young woman who is spearheading the climate crisis activism today from Uganda. So I think this will be a really interesting viewpoint on what's going on in the environmental brigade. And then if you still have time to jump in on this one, and then to get you started for March, which is coming soon, we will be reading To Speak for the Trees, My Life's Journey from Ancient Celtic Wisdom to a Healing Vision of the Forest by Diana Beresford Kroger. So this one is another book about trees. I mean, can you get enough of those? No. The answer is no. So this author is a botanist and a medical biochemist and also of Celtic heritage. So she kind of weaves the science and maybe a bit of mythology, but also, I don't know about that, but also Celtic wisdom, because ancient peoples knew things they did. So super interesting to get started on that one next month. So I will link Heidi's reviews of these books. The 6 from last year anyway. She has very in-depth, excellent reviews. If you are interested in any of those, I would highly recommend you check her reviews out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you will join us this year. We have a great set of books picked out. I will link the announcement video for that as well. So it's early in the year. You can jump in on the Book Naturalists Book Club and read along with us. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.